Hey, it's Meg, welcome back to my channel. So today I have another junk journal with me for you, and this time I am really focusing on collage. And I know I always focus on collage really, but this in particular I really did want to play with sort of papers and different textures and the layers as well that I could get from the different papers that I have, not only in my stash but also just in my scrap pile. You know that pile of papers when you've finished maybe journaling at your desk or wherever, and you just have a mountain of papers surrounding you, and you kind of feel bad for binning them. I tried to save them and see how I can use the little scraps up in my journal, especially because I have an A6 journal, so the scraps that might seem small and get lost on a A5 or even an A4 spread, scaled down to A6 work really well. So you'll see me here sort of rummaging through different scraps of papers that I've got, and these are from a range of different things. So I've got packaging, I've got just different sort of ephemera bits. I've got, what have I got there? That's some paper with pressed flowers in it. I've got some little note cards that I've cut up, all sorts of different things. I think I've got some lined paper in there as well. So what I like to do when I'm layering is to start off with some of the bigger and plainer elements. So you'll see here I've just stuck down quite a big piece of pale pink paper. So I start off with the bigger elements, and then I kind of work my way down and sort of go to the smaller elements and maybe things that have more detail. And you'll see here I've put another pink sort of bit of packaging down, but you'll see that's got more texture and is a slightly different colour. So I think when you're putting together these collage journal pages, it's quite helpful to think of your elements in three main categories. So you're thinking of your background, your middle ground and your foreground. So for me, my background pieces will be these bigger elements. They won't have any busy patterns or things going on, and they'll be quite plain. Then your middle ground, this is where you'll move into things that are a little bit more textured, creating that contrast but not so detailed. And then your foreground elements, these will be kind of your more focal points, they will be a bit smaller, more detailed perhaps. And what I tend to do, you'll notice as well with the little, say the little card and the brown piece of paper, I tend to cover up the joins of my background and middle ground pieces, just so that it creates a more cohesive look. So rather than a patchwork, if you will, and you can see kind of the harsh edges, I try and join those together with the smaller elements. I mean, if you like that patchwork effect, then obviously go forth, create a big patchwork. But for me, I think layering and overlapping my elements really gives that page more of a cohesive look. And you can also do this with washi tape as well, just to get rid of some of the maybe harsher lines and joins between your page. And you'll see here I'm coming in with a Liquitex paint pen, and I bought these recently and I absolutely hate them, not gonna lie. I'd seen a lot of raving about them, and they are quite heavy on the plastic, which isn't great, but I got two just to try them out, just to see what they were like. I got a titanium buff and I got a pale pink colour, and I just don't vibe with them. I really don't like how they come out of the pen. They're not very smooth. They obviously, because they're acrylic, they dry quite shiny. So not a fave, but obviously I wanted to use them up now, so that's why I went ahead and used one. They are good for portability, obviously if you don't want to take paint with you when you're going out and about, but I wouldn't purchase them again. I would rather just pre-paint my pages in future. Yeah, really don't like those. But these transfer stickers, however, or rub-ons that I got the other week in a journal haul, which I'll link down below if you haven't seen that video already, I really love using these on my pages. I tend to have bulky journals anyway, so for me it's not an issue that things are adding bulk to my journal. But if you don't like your journal to be so bulky, these are a great way of adding stickers without obviously adding that bulk, and I just think they're really delicate and dainty and pretty, and I've used some of the smaller elements just to sort of dot around my page, just because I felt like we had a lot of big elements on the page, and so I wanted to go in and add more details. And you'll see here I'm using as well some of these floral vellum little mini sheets. I don't know what you call them, and I just think that adds a nice sort of translucent image to the page that doesn't take away focus from the main image. So obviously we've got those, I believe they're oranges that I painted, those are the main focus. So I still wanted to add other elements, but I didn't want to take away focus from that particular image. So what I did is I made sure that I used elements then that were black and white, or in this case also on a bit of a translucent paper, just so that we really didn't take focus away from that. So that's another tip if you're collaging. I really like to have a focal point and work around that. So everything that I'm doing and sticking on the page, I'm constantly thinking about this focal image and where your eye is drawn onto the page. And that's another thing that I keep in mind when I am adding different elements to my page, is where I'm positioning them. So obviously there's the common, rule of 3 and using colours across a page to kind of bring them together. But you could also do what I've done here and add your image in the center of your page, so that it kind of, your eye is drawn across, but obviously you will have to bear in mind that will add bulk to your spine. But I think we can all agree here that being a member of the Chunky Journal Club is the way forwards. Or at least it is for me. I just find it so satisfying to see this journal bulk up, and I've kind of reached that happy spot now where I've broken into the journal enough that I'm really loving using it, and I'm not quite towards the end where there's a bit of a hump and there's that kind of, you're fighting to kind of work on a tilt. I've got that sweet spot where it's nice and chunky, but I can still work in it. So yeah, I'm really loving working in this journal, but I am excited to make a new one, because I've got a fair bit left, but the way I'm journaling at the minute, I feel like I'm going to fill it up pretty quickly. I go through these phases where sometimes I'm journaling loads, and then sometimes I don't journal at all for ages. So let me know in the comments what your kind of journaling pattern is. Do you journal loads, or do you sometimes forget like me? Sometimes as well, I will just sort of be absorbed in other creative hobbies. So whether it's reading or writing, or recently I've actually picked up crochet, and I'm currently crocheting a blanket, which is taking a while. It will probably be ready by Christmas because I'm quite slow. Obviously I'm learning. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed journaling along with me, and taking a peek into a look at my process and how I approach collage. If there's anything else you'd like me to chat about or show you, or something you'd like to learn, know how to do, anything about journals at all, leave a comment down below, because I would love to know what you guys would like to see. But as I said, thank you so much for joining me today, and don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss these weekly videos. Can you believe I've been keeping up with these weekly videos? No, I am really enjoying actually being back on YouTube. and sharing my process with you guys. And you are all just so lovely in the comments. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. And yeah, so I hope that you have enjoyed this and that you stay safe and have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And I will see you guys next week. Bye guys.